Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm showing you guys how I do my super beginner friendly knotless box braids. And yeah, let's get into it. So first things first, shout out to Function of Beauty for sponsoring today's video. So Function of Beauty is a hair and skincare brand that lets you customize your product based on your skin and hair goals. So my hair goals were to deep condition, strengthen, hydrate, define my curls, and nourish my roots. For 2021, I'm really trying to focus on healthy hair and healthy ends because I'm trying to grow my hair out. So I'm really happy Function of Beauty lets me choose exactly what I want to focus on. You guys know I'm very particular about my hair, and I really want to stop using products that have sulfates and parabens like I do when I silk press my hair. So I'm happy that Function of Beauty doesn't have any of those. They also allow you to choose natural fragrances, which I did, and products that don't have any dye in it. So I chose the ones without dye, and look how cute the packaging is. I feel really fancy with this in my shower. And you guys can check out the link in my description to get 20% off of your first set of products with Function of Beauty. So for a protective style, you always want to start off by washing and conditioning your hair. Make sure you use hydrating products. That's super important because you want your hair to be hydrated underneath your protective style. And I always detangle when I condition my hair in the shower. And then after this, I am going to go in with this Honey Miracle Mask by TGIN and just leave this on for 10 minutes. And while I leave this in to soak, I'm going to wash the rest of my body using the Function of Beauty body wash. This stuff smells so good, and it's also really cute. Love the packaging. So after my deep conditioner is rinsed out, I'm going in with a leave-in product also by Function of Beauty. So I had my hair straight for about 2.5 weeks before washing, and I didn't have any product in it throughout the time, so my hair was pretty dry. And Function of Beauty left my hair feeling really moisturized. It didn't strip my hair at all, which is important when I'm wearing my natural hair. And yeah, overall, I'm very impressed. I think it even looks way better than it usually does. So now I'm blow drying my hair, and I started off by spraying It's a 10 heat protectant on it. And I always blow dry my hair in 4 sections. Just make sure your hair is detangled and try to get it as straight as you can with the blow dryer before braiding. If you have hair like me that's like blunt on the ends and pretty high density, it is going to be hard to get your hair really flat, but I tried my best, so y'all see. I think I used too much braiding hair, but you know, whatever. Anyways, so this time I started off by pre-parting my hair. I've been doing this recently because it honestly saves you a lot of stress. It's still very stressful, but it saves you a lot of stress in the end, just to have your hair pre-parted. So what I'm doing is parting every section horizontally. So I'm doing about an inch, I guess an inch wide or long, an inch long section for each part. And I just part from one side of my hair to the other. And it's pretty self-explanatory, but not really at the same time. But I'm just using a comb, and then I'm applying some gel on each part just to make it, you know, more precise. And I wanted to do smaller braids, but I think my part size ended up being around a medium. And yeah, after you do every single, basically I'm parting in rows. So after every row, you just braid your hair up to make sure it keeps the same pattern. And I used to part like starting off by parting from ear to ear, like vertically, but I don't do that anymore. I just find that this way looks better in the end because it all falls the same way. But this way is a little bit more difficult if you are a beginner, but just like I said, you're just making a part from one side of your hair to the other, and that's pretty much it until you get to the top. So when you get to the top, it changes, but I'm going to show you guys that in a second. For now, you're just keeping the same technique, part from one side to the other. All right, so at this point, I decided to part from where my ear is over to the other side and section that part off while I create this last row, like a full row, just to make it easier on myself. So I did it in 2 sections. I did the back part of the row because you have to curve it. So you just have to be patient. It takes a little bit of time, and just try to create a nice curve, which you guys will see, but it's still a full row of hair. You guys see right here, you just have to create a curve, a pretty deep curve. All right, so after that is when you can create the top portion. So you just do another like horizontal line, like a straight across line, and I had 2 of those. You can do 1 and then have all the hair in the front as 4 rows, but I wanted 2 horizontal rows, and then you'll see I have 4 vertical rows in the front. I hope this makes sense. I know it's a little difficult to understand. I feel like I'm not explaining it right, but basically all you're doing is creating horizontal rows until you get to this front piece, which is a section of hair in front of my ears. And I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry. To braid, I'm using the Let's Jam Mega Hold, the Easy Braid Professionals Pre-Stretch 26-inch hair. I use the color black, a rat tail comb, butterfly clip, and some scissors. Alright, so I start off by measuring the amount of hair that I'm using, and I just twist it to see how thick I want it or thin. And I just create a box, and I do it by using a brick layer pattern. I separate the hair into 3 or 4 pieces, and you guys will see the way I do it still does have a knot, but it's a smaller size knot. But it is way easier to get for beginners than the traditional knotless method. The knotless way has like my head hurting. So anyways, so I do the 3-strand method, which is where you basically act like you're about to braid your hair. So you make 3 strands, and then you place the braid hair on top of the outer 2 strands and just start braiding like normal. So I braid down about 5 times, and then I add braiding hair in between my pointer finger and my middle finger. So you'll see here, add the hair in between the pointer and middle finger. So because my hair is high density and my ends are really thick, it's really hard for me to get smaller size braids, or even get my ends to stay in braids. So what I do is disperse or distribute the hair throughout the braid in like a random way, if that makes sense. So you guys saw I did about two pieces of hair at the top, and then I got further down the braid and then started putting hair where I felt it was necessary, and I'll explain it a little bit later, but that's just how I do it. But you guys, if you have thin hair, you can place them all in at once. All right, so I'm gonna explain it again just in case I didn't do a good job starting, which I probably didn't. So 3-strand method, you separate your hair like you're about to just braid it like normal. You add a smaller piece of the hair out of the 3 or 4 pieces you separated. Do the smaller one or it'll end up having a huge knot, and we don't want that. And you just braid down 5. I braid down 5 times. You could do less, but you just add the hair in when you feel like it's necessary. Add it between your pointer and thumb. And even though it creates a knot, it allows it to look more natural because all the hair isn't being inserted at the same time, which is why it does look pretty similar to knotless braids from a distance. But you're basically cheating. And if you guys have similar ends to mine, it helps if you add another piece very close to where your ends are. It helps to secure them and keep them in the braid without the braid looking too bulky at the top. And this is just an example when I didn't do it and then when I did. So it helps a lot. All right, I wanted to show you guys me braiding from a different angle because it does change how you place the hair or feed in the hair basically. So you're starting off the same. I'm creating 3 separate strands and connecting the braid hair to the outer 2. And then you just start braiding like normal, and I braid around 5 times. Oh, or maybe 2. Like I told y'all, I just freestyle it. Honestly, it's bad, but I don't have like a specific technique. But the difference, I don't know if you guys saw, you add the hair in between your pointer and your thumb. So if you're braiding, I think this is called overhand, which you will be if you do the top of your head. You guys have to add it between your pointer finger and your thumb. I really hope I'm explaining everything right. I'm not perfect at these by any means. Like, I'm still considered a beginner, honestly, and it's really hard for me to get like a really sleek knotless look just because my hair is high density. So yeah, I just hope I'm explaining it right. I did learn from Kirsty, I think her name is Kirsty Pierce or something. I'll link her videos down below if you guys want to check it out. She's really, really good at braiding. So yeah. And these honestly turned out way bulkier than I wanted them to, but like I said, my hair is thicker, so it's really hard for me to get a thin look. And for my ends, I just do a quick little burn just to make sure they don't unravel. And this is how it looked immediately after. If you guys want to clean up the braids, you can. I honestly just showed you guys this one and did not do it for the rest of my hair, so you really don't have to. It's just optional. So okay, I wanted this to be like a goddess braid look, but I ended up not liking it that much. But here's a variation. So after you're done, you can braid all your hair together and then seal it. So I just boiled some water and sealed it for about 2 minutes. Make sure you guys don't put your natural hair into the hot water. And then you let it dry about 80 or 70%, and then you take it out. And it creates waves at the bottom of the braids, which usually is cute. I usually like it, but my braids came out bulkier than I liked this time. So it just added to that, if that makes sense. So what I did after that to revert it back to just having straight ends is dip it in the water freely, and then they just went back to being pretty straight. They ended up still being wavy, but I thought it was cute. So yeah, this is the final result as you guys saw. This is perfect for the winter, protecting your hair and all of that. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!